Okay, everyone. Very sorry about that. The internet guys, well, they decided, let's go up on your roof and hammer things through. I didn't know when they were coming over. I got an email that they were going to stop by at some point, but I didn't know it would be today. I didn't know it would be that quick. So I'm sorry about that. I still have everyone's name written down. So let me get things going again here. Okay, and let's pop out that chat. There we go. Awesome. Okay, ready to go. Thank you, Chantel, for waiting. And yeah, we're doing good. Okay, welcome back, dude. Awesome. Awesome, I speak. And there is Nina. Perfect. Perfect. We should have an even better internet connection, I'm thinking right now. And yeah, we'll go from there. Yes, Nina. Yes. Give me just a... Well, let's see. I was on... Ah, yes. Of course. Of course. Yes, I heard retrograde was coming. Can you guys see me now? It looks like I'm live again. Yeah, retrograde is coming early. Of course it is. It's like reverse Santa Claus, right? It sees you when you're sleeping. It knows when you're awake, and it will sabotage your morning commute. And your toilet's broken now, so lovely. Lovely, lovely. Okay, we got the satellite fixed. We have wireless internet, which is actually pretty nice. And so they had to go up on the roof, as you do with internet. And they had to fix the satellite because apparently, I mean, we've been getting weird storms. They had to upgrade the equipment. It should actually be a stronger connection than it's been, you know. So yeah. Hey there, Sunshine 22. Yes, get some sleep, my friend. Thank you for coming in here and saying hello. Okay, I was in the middle of giving a very long lecture to Queen 9. Hopefully they come back. They still have one question left. But, yeah. Hey there, Zara. There's Queen 9. Okay. All right, Queen 9, where did we stop before I kind of just imploded into nothing? Oh, thank you, Zara. That's very sweet. Trixie. Trixie. There she is. Yep. She's actually getting her name down now. Took her a long time. She's a cute one. All right. So Queen 9, yeah. Just in time. Perfect. So what was your question? Or where did we leave off? That's what I should say. Sure. Go for it, Queen 9. What are we wondering? Oh, nice coffee. It's a nice day, you know, for being kind of overcast. Trixie's the cat back here, Zara. She's the calico in the background to go. Sweetest cat. And the squishiest body, and she can lay completely flat. I've never seen a cat be able to do that. You would think she's a cat skin rug. And she's just funny. She does weird poses, and she sleeps with her arms out. She's adorable. Okay, so. I think I know the answer to this. I'm just feeling really down. Queen 9, I understand that, okay? Let me rip the Band-Aid off of this for y'all, all right? Here's what I believe deep down to the marrow of my bones, all right? And that's not that deep. That's a few inches. But I'm sure of it in my own way. So, what I believe is this. I believe that anyone can be the one for us. If we're attracted to them, if there's respect, if there's communication, if there's openness, I believe there can be so many the ones you'd be like, holy shit. You know? So you didn't mess up the one. I don't believe in that, and in the spiritual community, I think it's incredibly toxic to promote the soulmate, the twin flame, the one person that can complete you. I think it's gross, honestly, because it's telling people that this one person can complete us. And to me, that is absolutely not true. I do not believe in that, and it has people focused on what I've said before. It's called limerence, and it's where people are so focused on the one that they don't see anything else around them. A lot of times people use the one as a way to escape from responsibility for taking care of themselves or for whatever. Right. Yes, you're still on the list. Lisi. I believe I'm saying that right. But I don't believe in soulmates, twin flames. I don't believe in that. I think it's something that's been grossly misinterpreted, because having a bifurcated soul, and the whole thing, and you have to find each other, it sounds romantic, it sounds beautiful, and maybe there's some truth to it. I don't know. But it makes it so many people are afraid to love and have experiences, and it really bogs things down when it comes to options. It's like, are they just going to be the one? Is that all they're going to be for me? Am I ever? It's happily ever after, but it's not. There is no happily ever after. It's just ever after, okay? You want a peaceful ever after. If it was happily ever after all the time, trust me, you'd get sick of it. But we want peace. We want to be able to have peace and feel that. No, don't think you messed up with him. You're learning and you're growing, okay? Have that be something. Imagine it's on-the-job training, okay? This kind of training is for you to find someone that you have compatibility with, but you're just learning. There's a learning curve with this. At least you're putting yourself out there and you're trying, Queen 9. I appreciate that more than anything, because that to me shows that you care. And I feel like when you love deeply. There's still some things that need to be resolved for you. But yeah, I'm feeling like you're on the right track and you didn't mess up. Okay, Anchal. Yes, I can put you on the list here. So what was your other question, Queen 9? And then we can go to, we have Raven, and then we have I Speak again. And then we're on to the free list. And then we have Nina, actually. After that. Okay, there we go. Your next question. Oh, hot coffee. You're going to do a course out of the country towards the end of the year. So this is that November-December trip that you were talking about, that you were wanting to go on, right? Okay. Will Queen 9's experience be good going on this this course here? That's where me and my ex met, and I don't want any issues of stuff coming from that. Okay. Around friends and stuff. Okay. Let's look and see. You're going on a trip. What is going to be the outcome of this trip? Hey there, Elizabeth. How's it going? I am back. Much to everyone's disappointment, I did come back, and here I am. Take it in. Take in all the energy that I have. This is me being excited. I'm doing good. Getting ready to have some, I guess, meetings tomorrow. I might cut out a little earlier tomorrow, just because it sounds like there's going to be kind of a lot to do towards the end of the end of Thursday. So I know that one's Trixie. She's a beautiful one. Okay. How's the trip going to go for Queen 9? Okay, so here's what I got here for you, Queen 9, okay? We're going to be looking, we're going to be seeing what we get here. I do feel like personally you're going to be having a good time. But in order for you to have a good time, we got to look at these cards. So this is the one we got right here. This is the Page of Swords. Now, I'm going to bust out a character here for a minute, break the fourth wall, right? Or the fifth wall. I'm just going to break walls and balls. That's where we're going with that. We have the Page of Swords here. And I would almost view this as like a traveling card, you know? It's almost like he's going to be, you know the movie Up where they attach a lot of balloons to the house and then it floats? Well, apparently it works with light bulbs too when it comes to people. So to me, I see that as a good card. It's kind of like letting things happen. The only problem I'm seeing that can happen here is that if we're so focused on having a good time, it can make it really difficult for us to be in the moment, right? Whatever happens is going to happen. I think it's going to be a good trip. It looks to me like it's going to be a good trip. I'm going off the old list. There isn't a new one. I'll say this, guys, if for any reason I cut out, I don't just throw my iPad out the window and then start another list. I keep you guys on the list for when I come back on. So don't think I'm just like, that's through. Let's focus on this. No. Paid readings, free readings, everyone is still on the list. Okay. King of Swords. Then we have the Devil in reverse. Okay. Otherwise known as Lil Jesus. And then we got Page of Pentacles in reverse. All right. And then we got Nine of Cups. There it is. So the Devil in reverse is actually good. It means getting over old ways of thinking, getting rid of old behaviors. The Page of Pentacles being in reverse could be us still holding on to some memories because it can be kind of that experience. But overall, the Nine of Cups is what we're ending with. So I think it's going to be a very good experience that you're going to have here. And yeah, so Queen 9, I'm thinking it's going to be good. This reading looks good to me. So you're in the clear, right? So I think it's good. I think it's all good. In the hood, y'all. That's where I'll go with that. This has been your news for the day. I always wanted to be a radio personality, you know? You hear them every time you'd get ready for school, at least for me. I'd be getting ready in the school with my dad would be driving me down. And you'd always hear those newscaster voices, and it was always interesting. So the King of Swords, Queen 9. When I see that, because it's next to the Page of Swords, it could be that we're overthinking it, right? There could be an overthinking that's going on. They're not in reverse, though. And so just have it be something that you go with the flow with, right? Overthinking tends to make it so we're either in the past or we're in the future, but we're not in the present. As soon as we're no longer in the present, we have no control over manifestation. We have no control because we're focused on the past. We're focused on the future. But there is no future if we can't be present, right? So that's something that I usually say. But that's what I feel like it could be. Just kind of an overthinking energy. I feel like it comes from a good place, but there could just be so much thought that's put into it that it becomes kind of exhausting. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. But I don't feel like it's necessarily negative. It can be extreme at times. But I feel like it's going to be a good trip. I feel like just secure your stuff, get it ready to go, and I think it'll be something that you'll have fun with. All right, Raven, are you still there? So I'm going to move on to Raven here. Hopefully, though, that helps Queen 9 and gives you some guidance there. Alrighty. Just making sure. The X is a Gemini, hoping it wasn't him. So, I would see him in reverse. I feel like in that situation there, this is your trip. You're wondering how your trip is going to go. We're not wondering how his trip is going to go. If those cards were in reverse, then I'd be like, yeah, you know, there could be the Gemini there. But I don't think so. I don't think they're going to be going. So that's kind of where I'm at, because that connection to me seems like it's done. Done diddly end. So, all right. You're so welcome. You're so welcome, Queen 9. Yes, I can add you to the list, Red Moon. Let's put you on here. So like I said, oh, you're very welcome, Queen 9. Like I said, guys, I'm going to be on a little bit later tonight just because there's been so many delays. I came on an hour late. I just like to monologue, you know, so many reasons, but I'll be on a little bit later, so there isn't any rush, and I will get to people on the free list when I get to people on the free list. I just ask for patience. I know I take a while, but listen to some of the things that other people are also dealing with, because I can tell you right now, a lot of the time, the people that I'm reading have very similar circumstances. Okay? Hey there, Queen B. Yes, right below Queen 9. I can put you on the free list here. Okay, so then let's do this. I speak my truth. Would you want to ask your question? Just because if they're not here, when they come back in, I'll go to them. But let's do this. You're on the free list, Queen B. It'll take a minute for me to get to you, but yeah. Okay, let's do that. And let me do this. And then Nina, you're going to be after I speak right here, unless Raven comes back in. Thank you, Queen B. I appreciate that. Let's do this here. All right, let's do this here, and let's make it a little bit shorter. There we go. All right, so let's do this for I Speak and see if we can get going on here. Trying to think. Lately, it feels like all I'm watching is paranormal shows. Seems like the only thing I'm watching. It's either paranormal or tech videos for me. Nothing else really gets my juices going. Whatever that means. Is it blood? Is it lymph fluid? We don't know. But there's juices in the body somewhere. And we need to get them going. Hey there, All About Maine. How are you doing? I can put you on the free list here. Hold on. I'm gonna move that over here. Okay. Tended to burp pattern. All About Maine. Awesome, All About Maine. Glad to hear it. Okay. How is JP feeling about I speaketh, thine trutheth? That's old speak for your name. Let's see here. I like the cat laughing. It's weird that there's an emoji of a cat laughing, but the other day I was looking for an emoji that wasn't that uncommon, and they didn't have that. But of course, a cat laughing, because cats always laugh. That's something that they have. Okay. How is JP feeling about I Speak My Truth? So we get these two cards. I'll read these ones first. We get the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords, okay? Again, this JP person is prone to, they're prone to idolization. They're prone to being someone who struggles with kind of being in reality at times, okay? Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, you have the overthinker, and you have someone who tries to be as grounded as possible. It feels to me like the reason why there's this distance that you guys are going through is like you said, self-discovery, being content with the self. I feel like is something this person needs to work towards. But all in all, I get this. I get the Four of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, the Knight of Pentacles. I get the Nine of Swords in reverse. And then I get the Sun card in reverse. That's a beautiful card, isn't it? The Sun card in reverse is not a bad card, just so you guys are aware. And that's the outcome card. It basically means there's going to be some obstacles, but I feel like you're going to be able to get through it. How do they feel about you? I feel like they care about you a lot, but there's something that they need to do to focus on themselves at this point in time because they're not able to give you the version of themselves that they would want to, right? It's kind of like this person wants to give you the best version of who they could be, but this person knows that there's some shortcomings that they have. And so right now, it's looking to me to be something like that. So the Sun in reverse is a card of like things coming to light. It's going to take some time. It is going to take some time, but let's see what happens, right? Regardless, the days will turn to weeks, the weeks will turn to months. And in the meantime, we give space, we see what happens, and we go from there. But yeah, there's prone to be, okay, this person is prone to have extreme sort of behaviors until they learn to have emotional equilibrium with themselves. Those kinds of tendencies are going to be coming out. Part of me feels like this person's embarrassed to show that side to you because it's something they're working on, but they don't have a grasp on. And they don't want to be seen naked and vulnerable, so to speak, in the sense of like emotional nakedness, which when I say it out loud sounds really weird, but I think you understand what I'm trying to say. Does that resonate with you, I speak? I know you love vulnerability. A lot of times one person will love vulnerability, but the other person may not be comfortable being vulnerable. A lot of times one person is much more emotionally mature. And awesome, Jeannie, have a good one. Thank you for coming in here. A lot of times people aren't emotionally mature enough to be able to put out that vulnerable self. Vulnerability is strength, and it takes a very strong person to be vulnerable. That's something that I can say. I've got the free list right here, Anshal. You're just going to have to wait. But yeah. So that's what I've got, I speak. Hopefully that gives you some guidance there. And I'm going to go to Nina's question here. You're very welcome, my friend. Very, very welcome. All right. Alrighty, there we go. My question is about a person named Dwayne. You know what, Nina? I feel the same. Whenever there's a question about someone named Dwayne, it just sucks, right? Alright. He's being persistent and I told him I'm not with it. Two polar opposites. I'm trying to get him off my back. Will he ever let go? It's very toxic just in general and I don't know him that well. I just know that when I reject him, he gets Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde on me. Okay. So This right here, Nina, I'm almost wondering if you should say to this person, like, I will get a restraining order. If someone is being that persistent and then they're starting to act all Smeagol-like, you know, me wants it, you know, the whole thing. If that's going on, I would honestly say, be talking about restraining orders, say, you know what, I do not appreciate this. I do not want to see you. I don't want to hang out with you. Please leave me alone. Even if it's whatever it happens to be, you're connected to the person. Being indifferent is the best way that you could do that. T-Rex dinosaur. Just tell him you're a T-Rex dinosaur. That would work. That gets people off your back too. Okay, you're back. All right, so like I said, I would say possible restraining order, but also do what's called gray rocking, Nina. I would honestly say, just because this is a situation where, and if a man is pursuing a woman, a lot of times they take it way, way too far, and that's not fair. They should be called out for their actions. They should be called out for their bullshit. Another thing we can do, we are indifferent, but he's not stopping after I told him I want to know part of it. Okay, then honestly, tell him the restraining order thing. Do whatever it is that you need to do, because in this situation here, this person is not getting it. Say, I do not want to see you. I don't want to talk with you. Get away from this person as much as you can. He's got a lot of people connected to him. I don't want any of that to come back towards me. Hey there, Becca. Nina, for your own self-interest, I understand you don't want anything to come back to you, but you need to stand up for yourself in this instance. And you need to say what's going on, because this person is not getting it. And I don't want you to be put in a situation that could be harmful. I want you to stand up and I want you to say, I don't want this. And if people do come down on you, they're toxic, narcissistic people anyway. You don't want them in your life. Each one that comes to you to try to bring you down, just block them. Problem solved. Because if this person is that toxic, I mean, this person's showing you, let me put it this way, this person is showing you their best side right now, and you're saying they're very toxic. So imagine a relationship with this person. Because when people are doing the dating thing, they put their best foot forward. This guy's got 2 peg legs, you know, he's not putting his best foot forward. He's kind of just putting it, I don't know where I'm going with this, but it was going to be a funny joke. But you do need, Nina, you do need to stand up here in this situation, because you also have a child to protect as well. I know that's uncomfortable to be that person, but this person needs to get it. The restraining order is something I would honestly recommend. Not necessarily following through with it, okay? I mean, if you want to, definitely do that, but just saying it out loud, letting the person know you are not messing around, being very firm and saying, get away from me. I do not want you in my life. Get away. That to me would be the best thing you can do. And if you can have people present with you when you say that to kind of back you up if you feel scared, do that. But that's going to be the best thing moving forward that you can do. You have to stand up for yourself. And I'm sorry you're dealing with such a creep, but yeah. They need to know the stakes, because something tells me you're a very nice person. And I feel like even when you say no, it's kind of a timid no. You can be forceful, but you really need to step it up here and say, no, and then have consequences for this person's actions. State consequences, restraining order, you know, state those kinds of consequences, because then the person will finally get it. They'll realize you're not playing hard to get, and hopefully just leave you alone. Hopefully that helps answer that question for you. Okay. I'm just going to say this. He's going to be Dwayne the Blocked Johnson, because you're going to block him on everything. All right? Go out there. I'm not telling you how to live your life, but block them. Get rid of them in your life in any way. And again, if there are people that are going to come down on you, let them come down. They're horrible people anyway. Get them out of your life. Block them. If it's going to be that toxic, and there's going to be a fallout, then just let it happen, because the best case scenario is you stand up for yourself and you have pride in yourself for doing that. Worst case scenario is you let this continue on and you feel more and more in danger. So at least you could go to bed saying, I said something, I stood up for myself, even if other people are being mean or whatever. But and like I said, having other people present, if you feel like you would be too shaky to do this yourself, can definitely help too. Have people to back you up if you can do that. That just needs to be something. Because men have gotten away with shitty behavior for far too long. And they think women are playing hard to get, and really women are saying, stay the hell away from me. I don't want anything to do with you. But men are so dense and stupid and creepy that there needs to be consequences for the actions. So, does that make sense, Nina? Exactly, Queen Bee. No means no. No question, no means no, period. It's not no, comma, yes. It's not no, but maybe later. No means no. End of story, end of discussion. That's it. Okay. I didn't pull cards, Nina. In this situation, you know what I mean? I don't feel like I need to pull cards. Literally, it would just basically say, get away from the situation, put this person in their place, say what's going on. Pulling cards to me doesn't seem like it's going to be helpful in this situation. Because you're saying, will he ever stop? If you don't stand up for yourself, no. This person won't stop. You need to say what's going on, and you need to have consequences. They're not just going to leave you alone because they feel like it. It sounds like this person needs a stern, like, hey, restraining order, I'll call the cops, like really to get something out there kind of a thing. There's certain situations I don't feel like the cards need to be involved with, and that to me doesn't seem like the cards need to do that. Do I ask a diff person? Wait. Do you ask what do you mean? A different question? I'll put it this way, Nina. That's the answer to your question, right? The cards... They do. Men are most of the time very, very sensitive creatures. And if you stand up for yourself and you say what's going on, they do tend to put their tail between their legs and run. And yeah, I don't feel like we need the cards for this, because it's not going to be something that the cards can answer in the way that you need that answer. Cards aren't going to be able to tell you anything I'm not telling you. So that's kind of where I'm going there, Nina. So, yeah. You meant as a diff question instead? Not about this situation. Well, I'll say this. If it's an emergency, if there's a question you have to know the answer to, I can do that for you. But generally I do one question, even for the members, right? That's generally how I do things, and I don't want to break that rule. But I feel like answering that question should help, hopefully. Okay. If we get around to it, Nina, and if you're still here after I'm done, maybe I can draw a couple cards, if that would work. If not, that's okay too, because tomorrow I'm going to be live, and you might be able to come on then and talk again. I don't want you to think I'm giving you the cold shoulder. I just I got a lot of people on the free list too, so. Sorry, Queen Bee. We got a couple people. We got quite a few people ahead of you. We'll just see who's here and who's not. Okay. So, Cynthia... Oh, let me do this here. Hey there, the 7 Impossible. I'll put you down as well. You get to butt the line, guys, if you pay for a reading. That's the only way you get to go in front of the line. I got you on the list, the Impossible 7. Okay. Awesome, Queen Bee. Not that you have a choice, but I'm glad you'll wait. Okay, let's do this. There we go. All right, so Cynthia, Mary Dahl, L. White, or Darla Dennis. Cynthia, Mary Dahl, L. White, or Darla Dennis. Are you guys there? Okay, that's a no-go on those ones, so let's cross them off the list. Okay, let's do this one. All right, Space Vibes, Ivory Johnson, Atiana, or Lady V. Whew. I think Atiana's here. She was just talking, so... Bad. Yes. What's your question, Atiana? How you doing? It's time for a hoedown. Let's ask the question, get an answer. Look in my crystal ball, and we'll see what we can find for you. Atiana's wanting to know, oh, thank you. Thank you, Queen Bee. I'm glad you like my name. Because if you didn't, nothing I could really do about it. But thank you for saying you like it. Yeah, the name's, you're on the list, All About Maine. I've got you written down. Don't worry, you guys. We have Chantel as the backup, and they do very good at their job. But I also have the names written down. So if I say you're on the list, you're on my list, right? And then Chantel helps to keep up the backlog as well. So that does help here. So what is coming for me? Or what do I need to help myself evolve? Very good question. Atiana, let's look at that. And let's shuffle these cards up. Let's do this here. Yeah, I decided to just go with ChanceSTarot. I feel like that works. It's not going to be what the channel is called forever, but for right now, it's going to be what it's called. Because eventually I want to do it where it's, I want to do where we change this channel into something that's much bigger than it is now. But I gotta build it up. But I got plans for this channel. Okay. So, what does, hold on. We had a hiccup burp that wanted to come out, and I didn't want to do either the hiccup or the burp, and so I was holding it in. I feel I am evolving, but I still engage in ways that are not good for me. I literally make mistakes knowing I'm making a mistake. Like, why do I do that? I think it's more stupidity than curiosity. It's not stupidity, right? It's something that we're doing the thing where we're shaming ourselves, we're blaming ourselves. That's not going to help us make better choices. If anything, you're just going to stress yourself out and make even worse choices because you're blaming yourself. You feel guilty, you feel shame. So let's look at this a different way, right? I'll draw a card, but the best way I'm going to talk about this, Atiana, is going to be this. If you're wanting to evolve and get better, we need to, again, the self-love, the growth in that way is going to be good. But it sounds like to me you're self-sabotaging. And the reason why, a lot of times, and you're going to think this sounds crazy, people are scared of how successful they can be. I know you're thinking, what? That sounds weird. Hear me out, okay? There's a fear of success, there's a fear of failure. Both of these fears result from a fear of change, all right? The fear of failure, though, that's one that we're comfortable with. That's one that we know. It's the hell that we know, right? But the fear of success is having things go so right for us and then being like, uh-oh, what do I do? And so there's ways that we need to adjust ourselves to make it so that we're comfortable with being successful or that we're comfortable with being happy. A lot of times we've been told to put other people first, right? And so we need to change that as well. It's like wanting to prove myself wrong and dismissing my intuition. I have very high intuitions. Okay, so here's the thing with intuition, right? You can absolutely prove yourself wrong by going in the opposite direction of what your intuition is saying. But it'll eventually get to a point that you're so through with having things be done the wrong way that you're going to start listening and it's going to start happening for you where things are more positive. But yeah, it sounds to me like self-sabotage. I'll draw a card here, but we'll see what Spirit wants you to know. And I'm not saying this like I'm not guilty of these things myself. I'm human, part human. The other part of me is cyborg. I'll let you guys guess which part. But yeah, that's kind of the whole deal. It's my pinky, if you guys were wondering. All right. Let's do this for Atiana. What card does Atiana need? What kind of spiritual evolution are we looking for here? All right, that card wants to come out. Here we go. The Four of Pentacles in reverse. And if you look at it, this is seen as someone holding on very tightly to their purse and they're not wanting to let it go. Okay? There's a sense of protection here. When I look at it this way, it could be giving away our energy too easily to people or situations that don't need it. This could be doing things that maybe we don't believe in or maybe we don't even like, but we don't want to disappoint people or we don't want to show how we really feel about situations. Again, the people-pleasing mentality or putting others first at times. I feel like you're getting better with this, like a lot better, but there's part of you that still has a hard time saying how it is, even though you know how it is. You know how you would say it, you know what's going on, but there's that. I think for me, it's a fear of getting exactly what I am, especially in love. I fear actually falling in love with someone I am in love with. I've loved strongly, but never anyone that I was in love with. Right. And so you feel like what would happen if there was reciprocation or there was someone that you really deeply loved. There can be a fear of things not working out, right? And the fear of things not working out is something that ultimately, and this sounds shitty, but it's true, we get comfortable with the fear of things not working out. It's almost like we expect it. So the thought of getting what we want or the thought of entering into something where the stakes are high can be something that's very difficult. And when we're talking about love, it can be a situation where, hold on, I had something there. What was I going to say? It can just be being vulnerable, right? A fear of vulnerability. I don't fear things not working out. Okay. So tell me where your fear you think comes from then. Four of Pentacles in reverse is, I feel like we just need to put more time into, maybe we need to write down how we're feeling. We need to write down what's going on with us and we can read it back to ourselves. Or doing something like that is going to be helpful. But I feel like we hold on too tightly. I feel like change is something that's difficult but necessary for everyone. And sometimes we get comfortable being where we're at. And when we're comfortable, we don't change, we don't evolve, we don't grow. And that can be, it starts out being a good thing and then it turns out being a bad thing because there's no growth or evolution. Okay. I fear being in love to the point where I could lose myself. So I get involved with people that I am not in love with because that way I have an easier way out. There you go. Self-sabotage, right? Exactly the thing we're talking about here. So you understand the behaviors that you're doing, and you choose people specifically. When you're in a relationship and you fall in love, you should never lose yourself. Okay? All right. But you should never lose yourself in a relationship. That's not what a relationship is about. Relationships have 3 parts to them. You have the other person, and then you have the relationship itself. There's those 3 parts. But you as a person, them as a person, that is going to be the thing moving forward. There doesn't need to be something where we lose ourselves. A good relationship, you do not lose yourself or your autonomy. You don't. A bad relationship, a narcissistic or toxic relationship, yes, someone will try to overwrite you as a person and make you be like them, right? To stop the arguing, to stop the fights. That's definitely something that happens. And so, yeah, that can happen in bad relationships, but in good relationships, it does not happen, okay? Both people keep their autonomy, but then they come together to work even more closely in a relationship. But there definitely is still you the person and them the person, right? Because that's kind of how things work. Ravenwind says, oh God, I forgot about this reading, Chance. Well, I'm back, and I'll get back to the paid readings right after I do this one. I'll do yours, okay, Raven? We can do that. I was waiting for you to come back. Hey there, Bloom. How you doing? Did you? Let me look here. What did you donate through, Bloom? Did I leave my phone out there? I have my phone. Hold on. Of course, Raven. You guys that donate definitely get priority. Hold on 1 second. Hey there, Bloom. I'm not seeing any donations. Sometimes it doesn't go through the first time, and if for some reason there's a double charge, I do refund the money. It's never happened yet, but I am on the up and up that way, so it did not go through. There's nothing on my end for PayPal or Cashapp or in Super Chat, so maybe try doing it again and see. Okay. Hey there, Ivory. Check it again, Bloom. Sometimes I have the problem on my PayPal. It just happens. And Atiana, I do feel like that could be your reading right there. Just because, again, going into even further detail, when had a few errands. All right, Bloom, thank you. Yeah, so again, Atiana, I feel like I spent a good amount of time on this, but it sounds like it's going to be a deeper thing. So if you want to go deeper, we can go deeper, but I'm going to charge for that extra just because I want to get to the other people on the list here, and I've got Raven who's waiting. So but that's what I'm seeing there. It looks like self-sabotage to me. And yeah, it sounds like you know it though, right? It sounds like you know it. And we'll do this. Let me do this here. So, Raven, what was your question? How much extra you have your Cash App? What are you wanting to do? Are you wanting to do one question, or are you wanting to do 2 questions? I've got my prices right there, so it's up to you what you would want to do. You just let me know. And then I can add you to the list here. I am gonna do Raven's reading though, right now. So Raven, you let me know your question. And yeah. No need to worry, I promise. Okay. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm not gonna do that. I am not fit AF, but you're very sweet, Coco. Thank you for saying that. I did lose some weight. I need to work out too, guys. I need to work. That's very sweet, though, Coco. You think I'm fit AF? Yeah. There's definitely more work that needs to be done for me. You paid for 2 questions. Okay. Your first is about a dream that you had about a tiger. Let's see, it tackled me from behind playfully and it spoke to me. Just curious on what it means, if anything. Tigers can represent feminine energy, right? The tiger tackling you from behind, but you just want more insights. Okay, so let's do, 1 second, Raven, hold on. Let's do the $5 one. Then, Atiano, let's just do that one. If you really want a lot more insights, we can do 10. But if you're just wanting a little bit more, something that would be an okay answer, we can do the 5 and just go from there. Like you said, you didn't have any more questions, but yeah, okay. So the tiger can represent feminine energy, Raven. And when it tackled you from behind and then it was being playful, it could be showing that you're starting to reunite the divine feminine within yourself, okay? This is a time in your life where things can start to be better, things can start to flow better for you, especially when it's like that. I'm also, when I'm seeing that, the tiger, and you playing with the tiger, it is interesting. It is interesting. The way I've seen it, tigers to me always represent the feminine, but if it has a male voice, that's interesting in itself too. But let me ask this. When I'm focusing on the tiger and I was seeing it in my mind's eye, I saw silver with it as well. I don't know if silver would mean anything to you in that context. I know what silver means to me, though. But did you see silver in the dream as well? Oh, nice. Okay. It is, Atiana, and the reason why is because I'm an unbiased third party. We can't see ourselves in an unbiased way because we're kind of invested in our own story, you know? So, yeah, I have a therapist I talk to because I can't figure my own shit out. I can come on here and do this, you know, but when it comes to my own issues, my own problems, it's hard for me to take my own advice, so having an outside perspective definitely does help. At least for me. Yes, Amber, I can put you on the list here. Hold on. You saw no silver. That's okay. That's okay. I'm going to tell you what I feel with this, and then we can go from there. Because when I was focusing on that, the color that came through was silver. So give me 1 second here. So, Raven, you will be after... you'll be after Raven, who I'm reading right now. So just give me 1 second here, and we'll go from there, so... Alrighty. And thanks for the donation again, Amber. Okay. Alright, so silver, right? Silver is going to be representing the moon, the divine feminine, right? And I feel like, again, it feels feminine to me. The male voice is interesting. But when I'm feeling the tiger, when I'm feeling that, to me it's like this raw feminine energy. And I feel like there's a united front kind of coming in here. If it had a male voice, but it represents feminine energy, it could be things coming together for you, things getting better in your life, or you absorbing the shadow side, if that makes sense. And what I mean by absorbing the shadow, our ultimate goal is to not get rid of the shadow side. Our ultimate goal as spiritual people is not to get rid of the shadow side or get rid of our ego. That's not what it's about at all. It's to take the pain, the suffering, the darkness of the ego and transform it into light. That's the main thing that we want to do. Having an ego is healthy. Having a shadow is normal. And so we just want to take all of the problems, all of the pain, all of the darkness from that and turn it into something that we can see and illuminate and understand. This dream to me is showing that you're moving forward in the right direction. I honestly feel like it's something that is I feel like it's a powerful dream. So I feel like that's going to be something that's going to be showing itself more, but it's you taking affirmative action and making moves and steps in your life, Raven, where things are going to be starting to happen more and more so. I feel like you're making good decisions. I feel like you're trying your best to really get yourself out there. And it just feels to me like things are going to be getting better and better for you. And that's kind of what I'm feeling with the tiger energy, especially when it's playful, right? That to me is saying that you're getting more comfortable with combining the two, the divine masculine, the divine feminine. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. Does that make sense? No, no, you didn't miss your turn. And even if you did, I'd go back and we would get you going. Okay, so interesting. It's attacking me from behind and grabbed my neck with its mouth. So think of that. Think of that right there. Doesn't that represent the divine feminine, right? If a cat grabs a kitten by its neck, that's the mother's way of like moving the cats. The fathers do it too. But that's something that I think is really interesting that they were doing that, because the skin is looser back there. They can do that and carry their cute little cubs around, or tigers are cute. They're ridiculously cute, gorgeous animals. So that to me is showing the nurturing side. The male voice is interesting too, but the nurturing part of that to me that's fascinating, right? So what's the second question? What are you feeling? So good. You usually dream about lions, so this tiger was an interesting change. When you dream about the lions, were they hostile? Or were they more playful? I'm curious. I feel like there's just a level of depth there that's not... well, there's just a lot there when it's the subconscious. Because we have, from what I understand, right, each person has a subconscious. We have the normal conscious. Well, you know what? I'm gonna possibly be offering a course in the future where I talk about this in more depth, but I'll say it like this. We have a person's conscious mind, and then we have a person's subconscious mind, and then we have, and so if you imagine the subconscious mind as being like a lake or a river, okay? And then you have the collective subconscious or unconscious, and if you imagine that, that's going to be like an ocean. So we each have our own river, we each have our own lake that carries our subconscious thoughts, but then there's a collective subconscious. And that's where dream analysis, and that's where tarot, archetypes, things like that can come into play, is in those kind of symbols, right? And yeah, so. That's interesting. They're always female lions. Okay. I was just curious if they were hostile. So that to me sounds good. Especially since the female lions are the ones that are active. They're the hunters. They're the providers. And so to me, that's a good one. So close that you could feel her nose on your back. That's awesome. I love dreams that have the tactile sensations of touch or feel or smell or, you know. No, Ava, you're still on the list. You're still on the list. We're just doing the... shit. I forgot to do this part. Okay. No, you're good. You're good. There's no my bad. You're just fine. Don't worry about it. You guys have your lives, and I have my lives on YouTube. Yes, Ivory, you're still on the list. Everyone that was on the list before, you guys are still on the list. Okay. Second question, your finances for this month. You know I was going to ask about. I had a feeling. I had a feeling. Let's look at that for you, Raven. Raven's finances for this month. Let's look at that one. Oh, let's do it here. Raven's finances for this month. Let's see what we can come up with for you, Raven. Let's see. Let's do 5 cards and see what the finances are going to be. Actually, okay, let's do this. Let's do 4 cards. Just because I can do 1 for each week. So we'll do this week, next week, the week after that, and then the final week. Because I feel like that can kind of break things down a little bit easier. So, financial report for Raven for this month, going week by week. And I'll show you the cards here in a second. I'm just going to lay them out first. Okay, so here's what I'm getting. Our first card that we have is going to be this. We have King of Cups in reverse, which to me could be maybe we're expecting to make more money this week, and we might not make more money this week. However, I want you to know, because we're looking at this, and because you're asking me a question that could directly affect your free will, and your responses to this question will define this, look for instances in your life where there could possibly be obstacles. If there's been work that you've been putting off where you could possibly make more money, but you haven't been doing it, maybe that could be something you're focusing on. Or if there's something you can do where you feel like would be successful, maybe it costs a little money to take a course or to learn something new, but do something where you can have yourself keep growing and evolving. This card here can only be in reverse if we allow it to be in reverse. And so this week can turn into something that's more positive. But again, if there's something we've been putting off, let's do it. What I try to do, and I fail at a lot of the time, is when I wake up, I try to do the biggest thing on my schedule first. Okay? Because when I do that, then I get the anxiety, I get things out of the way. Start by doing the biggest thing that you have to do that day first, and then do the less important things later on. But make it so that you're doing the one thing that's stressing you out the most first. Because then the rest of the day is a lot easier. Okay. So, second week, we have the 4 of Cups. Okay? And this can be like a lackadaisical thing. I feel like you're going to be making something. Okay. If I fill my oil order this week, I should get paid. Okay, type that again, Raven. I'm not sure what you're saying. I'm sorry, the way I'm reading it, maybe I'm just being a little dense here, but type that again and maybe reword it so that I can understand it. The further I roll up my sleeves, you know I mean business. You're okay, Raven. Don't worry about it. Okay. If I fill my oil order this week for a shop that sells my oils, should I get paid for that, but only after I fill the order? Okay, so For me, for some reason, I'm looking at this like one of those advanced math problems. And so I'm going to say what I think you're saying. And Raven, you're not typing it wrong. For some reason, my brain's having a hard time grasping onto this. And so this little grape of a brain is going to flex its one muscle and see what it can do here. So you're basically wondering, I'm thinking that should you get paid first before you do the work, or should you do the work and then ask for payment, right? Any business, I feel there's certain businesses where I feel like it's okay to ask for money up front. But then there's business models that ask for money after. Restaurants ask for money after you're done eating there, okay? If it's a nicer restaurant. And then you have, like if you get your hair cut, right? They ask for money after the haircut. At least that's how it works here. Okay, so I would honestly, with this kind of thing, I would say ask for the money first and then do the work, because that puts you in a position where, oh, okay, they always do. Okay, well, if they're trustworthy, then I don't see any issue there. I was just going to say, if we feel like we can't trust them, or if it's kind of a newer customer, then I would ask for payment up front. But if they always do pay after, then I would say, yeah, go with that. Yeah, so I would recommend doing the work. I would recommend getting that done first, and then I think things can move forward in that way. Does that help answer that question? Hopefully I'm understanding it right, Raven. For some reason, that one's a tricky biscuit. Okay, that does explain the King of Cups upside down. Well, it's the King of Cups upside down, and his oils are falling out. All right? He's getting oil all over the place, and he's saying, you know what I could do with this oil? I could sell it. No, Raven, you're fine. I'm the one that's confused. You are just fine. Don't worry about that. That's on my end. I get confused sometimes. Has nothing to do with you. That's me just being... That's me just being me, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what to say now. It's awkward. I'm just kidding. Okay, so the next week we have the Three of Swords in reverse. Now, hold on here. And then we have the Ten of Wands in reverse for the last week. So I feel if you get this done, things are going to move for you in a better direction. Three of Swords in reverse in this reading, I'm not seeing it as a bad thing. In fact, I'm seeing it as moving on from more difficult times. It feels like things are going to flow more easily, right? And so that's something that I'm getting there. That's something that I'm seeing there. Ten of Wands in reverse is a card where we can feel burdened, but then the burdens can be lifted from us. It's kind of like things are getting ready to move on. But we could also be in the last week of May, we could also be holding on to things that aren't serving us, wanting them to work, but realizing it might not work. And this could be for your business. Maybe there's something that you're trying out, it's not working. Maybe try something different, right? Or maybe try doing the same thing, but in a different way. But basically, it's kind of like keep yourself improving and evolving. Learn different methods, different ways of doing this, right? In reverse is good. Yes, it is. Ten of Wands in reverse is good. That's a heartache and burdens thing. Yes, it is being lifted. There could be some difficulties, though, but nothing that would be too difficult. So I'm seeing it being a situation where I think it'll work out. I think it'll definitely work out. Things will get better. Honestly speaking, yeah, I think this is a good reading. So, hey there, Neelam. I'm doing good. How are you? It's been a minute since I've seen you. Coffee break for sure. Yes. I'm having my coffee right now. I've got you on the list, Neelam. I'm pretty sure that's what you were wanting. Yes, I think that I'm thinking that's what these cards are saying here. Honestly. And don't take the blessings you already have for granted, because that's kind of what this is doing here. Four of Cups, if you look at it, she's looking over towards something, but there's a rainbow right here that's coming out, but she's not noticing it. So focus on the blessings that you already have. When we focus on wanting what we already have, we send a message to the universe that we're grateful, and grateful energy always gets more and more grateful energy. It's like a snowball effect. So focus on wanting what you already have and focus on building up that kind of mentality. I see this as being a good reading, honestly. Okay. So I'm going to go to Amber's question here. Are you still there, Amber? Yes, you're very welcome, Raven. Thank you for coming on here and helping to support the channel. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to get this going. There we go. After this, we're going back to the free list, so everyone sit on down, sit tightly, sit rightly. So let's do this. So you did one question, Amber, but what I'll do is this. I'll split the one question up. So instead of doing 5 cards for one question, I'll do 2 cards for has Michael moved on, and then I'll do 3 cards for what are his current feelings towards you. Okay? So I'll do 2 for has he moved on, and I'll do 3 for what are his current feelings towards you. That way you get the 2 question. I feel like we can do it that way. You're very welcome. And just so anyone else is wondering here, I'm doing this for Amber specifically. She's been around for a very long time, helping to support the channel. And so 2 questions for other people, it's the $7.99. But for Amber, I bend the rules just a teeny bit. So let's see what we got here. All right, has Michael moved on? So I get these 2 cards for has Michael moved on. Actually, let me show you. We get Justice. Okay, this is in reverse, meaning there's an imbalance, and then we get Knight of Cups in reverse. And so I'm going to say it this way, Amber. If I see Knight of Cups in reverse, I'm going to say if this person has quote-unquote moved on, and I don't think they have, but if for some reason they have, they're not in it. Their mind isn't in it, or their body's not in it, but it's like if this person has moved on, they really haven't. They're still thinking about the past. They're still thinking about things. And I feel like it's just emotionally speaking, this person tends to be someone who ruminates on the past. And so I don't feel like they've moved on, but it feels to me like they're stuck in a place, right? Because we have the Knight of Cups in reverse, which can be extreme ways of thinking emotion, or extreme ways of feeling emotions, or rather not feeling them. It could be just a way of stifling your own self. And so I don't feel like you... Okay, hopefully you heard me, Amber. I was curious, are you a Leo? Is your sun, moon, or rising Leo? Okay. Where did I cut off for you? And again, sorry about that. It's been a weird internet day. Leo rising, Leo moon. Okay, so that would make sense. The reason why you left off on explaining the cards. Okay, so Justice in reverse. Okay, an imbalance with this person. Part of it, if you'll notice, there's two people in that picture. There's Justice, and then there's one person up on the top, and then there's another one on the bottom, kind of showing a reflection, or rather this person not dealing with the shadow side or the darker aspects of themselves. And what I mean by that is not dealing with pain that's happened in the past, not processing pain that's happened in the past. Knight of Cups in reverse is someone who's ignoring feelings or someone who doesn't want to feel, keeping themselves busy to make it so they don't have to feel things. This person feels like if they start to feel things, it's going to be too much and they wouldn't know what to do. And so instead, they keep themselves constantly busy or thinking about things. Now, I get these cards here, okay? I get the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, okay? And then I get, and this is how he feels about you. And then I get the World card in reverse. And then I get the Strength card upright, okay? And that's the Leo energy. That's why I was asking. I thought you were Leo. I wasn't sure. So that's why I was asking, okay? And if you look, it's someone who is, it's like half lion, half woman, okay? And so this person feels like in a way that they blew it with you because the world was there. The person that they really admired was there. The Ace of Pentacles in reverse is saying that things just didn't take off. They didn't start. And the Strength card is showing that I do feel this person still has feelings for you, but they need to sort their shit out. They need to have this be sorted out. And I always say, don't wait around for anyone. And in this case here, it feels like he's beating himself up for this. But don't feel bad for him because he's doing this to himself. He could get help. He could do this. He could move forward. He's choosing not to at this point in time. And so you have a choice in relationships. You can be there. You can level up. You can get better. Or you can kind of suffer in the muck and the mire and kind of victimize yourself and say, I'm just going to stay the same way. I wish I could change. I don't know how to change. There's the internet. There's psychologists. There's YouTube. There's a ton of ways we can look to change something if it's something we really want to do. But this person needs to prioritize their own mental health and processing things in order for them to get better. So yes, they still think of you. I still feel like they hold a candle for you, but them thinking about you or doing that kind of stuff, it doesn't mean anything because there's not going to be action that's taken, right? And getting involved would just be more of the same. You would be waiting for someone to level up. You would be put in a situation where you would be waiting and waiting and waiting, and this person would just keep prolonging things, keep wasting your time, basically. So, yeah, they still think about you. I don't think they've moved on, but that's what I'm getting. Does that help answer the question, Amber? You're very welcome, Amber. Thank you so much for helping to support the channel. Very, very appreciated, my friend. Okay, we're going to go back to the free list here. So let me do this, and then let me change the way this looks. And then let me do this here. Boom. There we go. Okay. Oh. All right, let's do this. Who is here right now that's on the free list? Who is here right now that's on the free list? Let me know. Voice your voices. because I had you guys written down here, and if anyone's there that wants to go for their reading, instead of me going through all the names, I can just say who's here that I have on the list. Okay. We have a few people that I'll just go over here. So we have It's a Channel, Say Lissy, I think is how you say it, Stefan, Daphne, or the Empress. It's a Channel, Say Lissy, Stefan, Daphne, or the Empress. Are any of you guys there? Absolutely, Chantel. Okay. All right. Ava Z, Anchal, Red Moon. Are you guys there? Awesome. Ava Z, what's your question? Okay, Neelam, you're here. Okay, perfect. Be waiting, Neelam, because you might be up next. It just depends. All right, so Ava Z says, when will Ben start to contact you? So those questions right here, I charge one question with time frame. Those are $7. So if you would want, I can do yes or no questions, or I can do something that doesn't involve a time frame. So Ava Z, if you can reword that, we can do a free one for you. Just the time frame ones, I do charge for those. So. Ooh. Yes, Daphne, you're still on the list. I said your name just a second ago. So here's what I'll do. I'll do Ava's question, and then I have Neelam's question, and then it will be your turn. There we go. All right, that's a good one, Ava Z. Let's do that. Will Ben initiate contact with you? Let me see here. Oop, let me do this here. All right, will Ben initiate contact with Ava? Ben initiate contact with Ava. Okay, here we go. Okay, so Ava Z, this one is the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So if I'm reading this, right, and I am, because I'm here, I'm going to say I'm probably not. Yes, Red Moon, you're on the list. I'm going to say this person probably isn't going to be reaching out to you. Probably not what you wanted to hear, but, you know, rip the Band-Aid off quick kind of a thing. Hopefully I'm wrong and the person does contact you, but right now it doesn't look likely when I see the Queen of Pentacles. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so now I'm going to read Neelam Dunputh. So what's your question, Neelam? You're welcome, Ava. Thank you for being patient. So here's how it's going to go right now. I'm reading Neelam. Hey there, Neelam. And then I'm reading Daphne. And then it would be your turn, Red Moon. Let's look at that. Will Tarek the Pisces marry you, the Libra? Let's look at that for Neelam. Will Tarek the Pisces marry you? Will Tarek the Pisces marry you, the Libra? One more shuffle here. So hopefully you guys are already in a relationship or things are moving in that direction. This looks like if things are going well now, if you're contacting, you know, if you're talking to each other and things are moving forward, it looks likely. Nine of Pentacles, hopefully, I would say that's a yes. But again, there has to be contact, there has to be communication. Because if right now there's nothing going on, you know what I mean? But if there is a good contact, good communication, it does look possible. I'll say right there. Nine of Pentacles, so that looks good to me. Good, you're in communication. All right, so that looks like it could be a good card there. But let things, Neelam, let things happen organically. Don't try to rush anything. You know, have that be something that just happens in a flow way, right? Have it be something that just happens naturally. Okay, now we're on to Daphne. Okay. You are very welcome, Neelam. Okay. All right, Daphne says, does Chris from the store I go to have romantic feelings towards me? We talked before, but never exchanged socials or numbers. I also was with someone, but that's over now. Okay. Does Chris from the store you go to have romantic feelings for you? Okay. One more shuffle here for Daphne. Does Chris have romantic feelings for Daphne? Let's look here. Move these cards over here. Let me finish drinking this. Hold on. It's starting to get a little late, so I gotta finish the coffee. It's a lot of coffee. All right, I'm done. You were doing a live stream during the Met Gala. You were funny. Hey, I've heard of the Met Gala. Is it like a fashion thing? So we have Eight of Cups. Daphne, and when I see this, because I'll show you the card again, it's someone walking away from what no longer serves them. So if I'm looking at this as, do they have romantic feelings for you? I feel like this person would need to get to know you more before they would have romantic feelings for you. It's not that they're not there, but this person needs to get to know you more before they decide yes or no. And again, it needs to be something that's like, you said you've had small talk a few times. I feel like keep doing that over again. I feel like there could be some interest. But there needs to be a little bit more there. than just you going to the store, right? If there's something you could do to get the person's attention, or if there's something you could do to talk to the person, that may help move things along. Just don't force yourself, obviously. You know, I don't view you as someone who would do that regardless. But there needs to be more contact before this person could make a decision. I feel like there could be something there, but as it stands now, it's like trying to pick up on a thin thread, right? Hey there, Tosfia. Yes, I can add you to the list here. So I would say try building up turn the acquaintanceship slowly into more of a friendship, and then see where it goes from there. But that's kind of what I'm seeing there for you, Daphne. Okay. There's Red Moon. No, you're good, Red Moon. Go for it. Post the question. You're very welcome, Daphne. Thank you for being patient. Okay, Red Moon. Is there... Okay. Okay, that dream became kind of important to you. All right. Okay. I'm trying to tune in psychically here, so give me a second. Yeah, Natasha, I can put you on the list here. Thank you for liking the video. Hope it's all going good for you. And good late afternoon from the United States. All right. The first thing I'm getting, Red Moon, as I'm trying to tune into this energy... Actually, you know what? Just because we're starting to hit the end of the free list here a little bit, would it be okay if I connected with your energy just for a second? When it comes to these kinds of questions, it would help if I had an understanding more firsthand. Okay. Okay, give me just a second here. The reason you're asking is a music video looks kind of like a dream. I was seeing, and I'm going to ask what this means, but I'm just going to tell you what I was seeing so far. It was like I was seeing a skeleton, and then it was the bottom, like, right side of the skeleton, and it was pointing towards this area. Have you had any issues with your kidneys or your lungs? I'm just curious with that. If not, that's okay. But it felt like I was being drawn to the kidneys or the lungs. Maybe the liver, but it felt more... I don't know. I was just throwing that out there, though. Okay. Give me another second here. This feels like a friendly spirit that I'm seeing that's around you. I'm hearing the words giver, and then I feel like I'm hearing the name Montgomery, or I'm hearing the name Monty, or it's like an M name that's associated with this person. It feels like the energy is, it doesn't feel like a spirit guide. It feels like a spirit. It feels like a strong spirit, but it feels like this spirit is kind of like a guide, but not a guide, if that makes sense. It doesn't have the same pull as a guide would. It isn't as evolved as a guide would be, but kind of like a guide in training, I guess. And maybe it could be ancestral as well, like maybe a distant relative, pretty distant. But that's kind of what I'm feeling with this. Trying to feel what else we can get here, though. I feel like I'm seeing the number 3, which to me would be, it could represent the Trinity. It's kind of like this person has deeper spiritual meaning to where they are. And the blue energy, I feel like, could have been something where you were, like a tea bag, right? You put a tea bag in water, and the water becomes infused with the flavor of the tea. But there's no like loose leaf or anything in the tea. It's just the flavor. It feels to me like there was an essence that this person had. And when they did this for you, it helped to open you up to other possibilities. And I feel like you were trying to open a portal, and I don't feel like you were the one that opened anything. What I feel like happened, though, was that your desire to have something open, your desire to have something happen, eventually led to this entity that I do feel is positive, reaching out to you and having this energy be there, because your way of reaching out was it felt so earnest, and it felt, innocent would be a word, but it felt so earnest, it felt so like you wanted this to happen, that I feel like this entity could make contact with you. Doing this and passing on its energy, I feel like is something that, I don't like using the words meant to happen, but it feels like something that was going to happen regardless, and you made it happen a little bit quicker with your intention. The promise, though, right? A lot of times it really depends on the context of the promise or what it was, right? Yeah, it really depends on what the message was. And I don't know if you'd feel comfortable with sharing what the message was, but that's kind of what I'm getting so far. Promise of love, okay. So I'm going to say it like this, because this is what I feel comfortable with. Okay, we're back. So I wouldn't focus on it being a promise of love and something you should wait for. If it's spiritual, if it's something that's going on that way, it's best to live your life and let whatever's meant to happen happen. If you did feel this feeling, this promise of love, I would say go with that, but don't ever limit your experiences or your sense of exploration into the areas of love for this, right? Have this be something that you think about, but don't have it be something that we possibly obsess over or think that we have to do it the right way or we have to do that. If this is a spiritual message from a kind, benevolent being, there's not going to be any rush and there's not going to be any way of doing it wrong. That being said, I feel like the ultimate best thing to do is just to live your life and see what happens, right? If there's a promise of love, great. If it happens or it doesn't happen, I just don't want you to put your life on hold waiting for something to possibly happen, because sometimes time frames, different things can happen to skew when things could possibly happen. And so I would say it sounded like a spiritual experience, and I would say just don't let that guide your life in a huge way. Let it be something that's in the background. Let it be something that happens organically, because that's the only way this would happen anyway, is if we're organic about it, we're relaxed about it. That's going to be something that can help us. But that's what I'm feeling there with that. So an interesting experience, though, to be sure. Hopefully that helps to answer that question for you. And I'm going to go to the next one here, which is going to be... Okay. You're very welcome, Red Moon. You're very, very welcome. Okay, so let's do this one. The 7 Impossible, are you there? The 7 Impossible or Bloom. Are you guys there? Okay. Let's see here. What about Tosfia or Natasha Gibson? Are either of you guys there? Hey, Jason, how's it going? All right, Chantel, I'll draw one card for you, and we'll see what we can come up with here. I assume you mean the round cards when you're talking about the Mystic. Going all right. Good. Good to hear, Jason. All right, Natasha Gibson or Tosfia, are you guys there? All right, let's look and see what we can find for you. I'm still new to reading these cards, Chantel, so you'll have to give me a little time to look and get a feel for it. Alrighty. Let's see what we can come up with here. What card represents Chantel? That seems, so this is Eros. Right there. Hey, Mrs. TMI, how you doing? Eros, or the erotic side, I can definitely feel, I could feel like that represents you. Okay, you're here, the 7 Impossible. Let's do this. There we go. You were on earlier but received a call. Mrs. TMI, nothing is more important than what I'm doing right here. So I'm going to ask you to put the phone down and, just focus on me solely. But I like that you're in the background sometimes. I often wonder, I'm like, are they watching me now? Okay, but anyway. So we have this one, Chantel. Like I said, this is the Eros, or Eros, like erotic, right? Would be the way I would describe it. So give me a second. No, so the 7 Impossible, I called your name a little bit ago, probably 5 minutes ago. So right now I'm doing something else, but we'll get to you in just a second. Okay, so let's look at this one for Eros. You just got to make sure you're caught up with the stream. Focusing on work plus expressing unconditional love instead. Yes. I don't think you're not doing that. But when I tune into your energy, there definitely is more of the kind of erotic energy, right? Kind of a sense of, I guess, sexual expression would be what I'm feeling there. It doesn't mean you're not working on yourself, though. It's with working on yourself. I'm trying to find this card here, so give me 1 second. Oh, should be right here. All right, so through, like I said with these cards, I'm going to read this one. just because I'm not sure how to read these quite yet. I got these on my birthday. So just takes me a second here. So Eros, love as desire, eroticism, sensuality. Though Eros can be depicted as unbridled sexuality and eroticism, a more contemplative understanding of this archetypal energy leads us to the root of desire itself. What do we long for? Why are we awakened by love? What makes us hesitate in the face of intimacy? Eros reconnects us with the primal longing to merge with another human being, nature, music, art, plants, food, or anything that we perceive we are separate from. Eros allows us to momentarily unite our heart, embraces otherness, and in doing so, we further understand our own life force. We further understand our own. Period. Our life force awakens. This card reveals an inevitable initiation into love's labyrinth. You may find yourself swirling in a new territory of desire and sensuality. Explore the labyrinth with a curious and honest heart, and remember, though the way is of course that's a word I can't pronounce. Circuitous, you are always being led toward its center. When light, so basically when the card is upright, this card was upright when I got it. Passion, playfulness, sexual health. When dark, madness, projection, and obsession. Go deeper. And so it says this, Love Sonnet 11 by Pablo Neruda, Basket of Figs by Ellen Bass. So it gives book recommendations based on the card that I draw. And so those are the book recommendations. I'll hold those up here. It says, so if you want to write down the book recommendations, Chantel, that it's kind of representing this archetype. Love Sonnet 11 by Pablo Neruda. And then Basket of Figs by Ellen Bass, which is ELLENBASS. This was hype, very special. Awesome. I'm glad that resonates. These are good cards. I'd honestly recommend it. The Archetypes deck is what this one is. Okay. So, let's do this. 7 Impossible. You're wondering, next actions towards you. All right, so let's do this. Because those are 2 questions. You're wondering the next actions and their intentions. So I'll do either actions or intentions. Let's do their next actions towards you. What are SF's next actions towards you? Okay. What are their next actions towards you? I'm sorry, the 7 Impossible. It's one question per person per reading. If you want to pay, you get consideration. But if not, it's just the one free question. What are their next actions towards you? Oh, awesome. Okay. Okay, after this one, I just got a donation from, I don't know what the username is, and so I'm not going to say the actual name where it came through, but I did get a donation for 5 from somebody. All right, let's do this here. Next actions towards the 7 Impossible. Oh, it was you. Okay. Awesome, Bloom. Perfect. Let's see. Just to make sure it was you, what were the two initials of the name that you used? Give me the first initial of the first name and the first initial of the last name. I just asked that to make sure. Okay, well, Bloom, I just asked that to make sure. I've had people try and do that, so can you tell me if that is just the first letter of the first name, the first letter of the second name? Oh, thank you, Jennifer Florence. Yes, sorry, SF. We're gonna get to you. Hold on. Okay, so that was the PayPal you used, Bloom. So you're saying the first initial of the first name starts with P. And again, thank you, Jennifer Lawrence, for supporting the channel. That's awesome. Or Jennifer Florence. I think I said Lawrence. Sorry about that. Okay. Let me ask you this, Bloom, because you were wrong with that. So I'll give you one more shot here. Can you give me the first three letters of the email address you used for sending the email? What is the email address you used for PayPal? But just the first three letters. I'm just making sure because you got the name wrong. So this will be one way we can see who it is for sure. Okay. Yes, you did, Jennifer. I knew Bloom was lying. Okay. Sorry, Bloom. You can't fool me. Okay. No, Tosfia, not yet. I'm going to read for... I figured it was somebody else, Jennifer, so thank you so much for letting me know that that was you. No, you're good. You're good, Jennifer. Yes, we're on you. Don't worry. 7 Impossible. And MOL is not the letters used, so Bloom, sorry. You were lying to me. That's okay. I know a scammer when I see one, so we're good. I'm gonna block you though. There we go. Okie dokie. There's always people out there trying to get something for free. It gets easier and easier to spot them, though. Yeah, so Chantel's right. Tasvia, you were called, but you weren't here. And so you'll go last, right? So just, there isn't that many people in line. But I'm going to do 7 Impossible, and then I'm going to Jennifer Florence's reading. Yes, I got you the 7 Impossible. I know you're getting impatient there. Sorry, there was some stuff going on, so I'm on your reading now. And then we're on to Jennifer Florence's reading, and then I'll go back to the free list. Alrighty. I do too, the 7 Impossible. I had a feeling, though. It's easier to spot the liars now. Once you get used to doing this, it's easier to spot who's lying. For instance, right when I asked them what the initials were and they said, I'm not lying, only a liar would be offended by the fact that I'm asking them, right? Only a liar would be like, why? I'm not lying. That seems like you're lying to me right there, so... They get easier to spot, and I get people doing that at least once every 2 weeks. I'll get someone trying to get something for free. And it doesn't work because I have my payment systems linked, I have everything going, I can tell right when someone pays me. I don't know why they even try. Okay, Jason, I'm probably not going to be here when you get back. But I'll be on tomorrow. I'm going to be done by 6:30, so that's about 40 minutes from now. All right, SF's feelings towards... Right, I got you the 7 Impossible. Yes, I am, Joseph. We have the Empress in reverse. And so if I see this one, next actions towards you, I don't feel like there's going to be next actions. If I see, or the Emperor in reverse, I'm not feeling like there's going to be next actions. This card to me is saying I don't feel like there's going to be anything going on. Hopefully I'm wrong and you get what you want out of this, the 7 Impossible, but the Emperor in reverse is that, so. Okay. So let's do this here, and let's move on to the next one. And we're on to... You said, okay, we agreed on actions, right? Or you said intentions. Okay, if we're going to do intentions as well, the 7 Impossible, Emperor in reverse, it's not good. Either way, actions, intentions, Emperor in reverse is not a good card. Nothing good's going to come of this connection, the way I'm seeing it. Hopefully I'm wrong, though, but either way, it's not a good card to get in reverse. Okay, so... Jennifer, you're still there, right? And you're right, you couldn't message me. That's what I'm feeling, the 7 Impossible, not for you. Yeah, I forget you can't message me until after. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, actually. And you don't need to be sorry about that. I forget that you can't do that. Yes, the 7 Impossible, I would suggest moving on. I definitely would. So let me do this really quick. Nope, that's the wrong button. But 7 Impossible, I would assume you're an adult. You can make your own choices. Just use good judgment when you're making your choices. What I say, I'm not a god. I'm just a guy with a tarot YouTube channel. So take what I say with a grain of salt. I try to help people as much as I can, but please don't think I'm accurate 100% of the time. Maybe something could happen, right? You were still in lockout. Yeah, I understand that, Jennifer. It takes a minute. Okay, we'll do this one here. So what are we wondering about, Jennifer? And seriously, thank you for becoming a member of the channel. I love it when people become members. It shows me that people support what I'm doing. And also for paying for a question too. That was very nice. Hello to you, Jennifer. And thank you for being so polite. I appreciate that. I'm gonna drink some water. Coffee with no water is not the best thing. Okay, those lights are having the camera glitch out here. I'm gonna do this really quick. There we go. I feel like it was having trouble focusing, so let's do this. Okay. Yes, Jennifer, we can do that. So let me look at this here. So you said, nervous and excited. Is it possible to get a general read on me? I have a major move coming in June. Okay, so are we wanting to do a... Okay, I'm just wondering if the next couple of months are going to go better. There's been so much heartache and sorrow this past year. Okay, that's kind of where we're going to. All right, so let me move these cards here. And let's look. Let's see what we can find for our friend Jennifer here. Moving to Carthage, New York. Ooh, nice. Nice. Did I say that right? It's Carthage, right? It's not Carthage. At least I don't think so. Yes, and I seen you ask, you can totally tune into my energy. Fingers crossed things are going to get lighter for me. Yes, absolutely. So I am sorry, Jennifer, if the stream goes out for a second, I'll just stop talking and I'll wait for it to come back on. I've been having weird internet issues. So again, sorry about that. And thank you for giving me permission ahead of time to tune into the energy. Let me look here. Sometimes I tune in, sometimes I don't. But let me look here and let me see what I can get for the cards, and then we can kind of go from there. So, hey, VIP. Okay. Thank you, Jennifer. VIP, I'm sorry to say this. I think I'm gonna be, well, thank you. Well, all right. I suppose I can add you for a free one. You'll be the last person on my list. I think we can do that. Thank you for being a subscriber. I appreciate that. Okay, so this is what I'm getting for you, Jennifer. We have... You are very welcome. So we've got the Five of Swords in reverse. We have the Hierophant. We have the Knight of Coins. We have the Sun card. That's a really good one. And then we have Ten of Cups in reverse. Okay, this is saying the next couple months will definitely be better than what you've been going through. It's also saying that I feel like new move, new start would be the way I would describe it. And the energy, hey there, Cassandra. The energy that I'm getting more than anything else is going to be things marching forward, things moving forward in a way that feels more direct and more kind of less subtle, I guess would be the way I don't know why I'm feeling less subtle. It's kind of like, I feel like in the past, it's like you've seen road signs of where to go in life, and it feels like in the future, there's going to be more direct energy guiding you towards what you need to do. There's going to be more of a structure or a directness. Yes, my spouse works on the base out there, but I'm leaving my family behind. Okay. So what what are you feeling? You say leaving your family behind. Why, if I can ask, Jennifer, what's making you want to do that? Maybe a little bit too personal. I'm just curious. And it kind of helps me get a better reading on you too. You're good, Cassandra. Having you here at all is a special treat. So I appreciate you coming on here. I'm going to do Jennifer's reading and then do the rest of the free list here. And then I think I'm going to head out. But right now we're focusing on Jennifer's reading. I understand that, especially if we're talking about, yes, if we're talking about toxic people, you get to know what that feels like and you can understand that. And so you're trying to have a fresh start, or you're trying, yeah, I get that, I do. All right, so it does look like things are going to get better. I feel like if you're away from people that are toxic, that's going to be a good way for you to have self-exploration and for you to find yourself. A lot of times when we're with a toxic person, family member or friend or boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it happens to be, we lose our sense of self because the toxic person tends to yell so loudly that it's hard to hear our own thoughts. I'm using that figuratively, metaphorically, but also they do yell. I mean, if they're toxic, they're not quiet people. So this looks really good. Honestly, the Sun card, the Ten of Cups in reverse. The only thing is the Ten of Cups in reverse is leaving something behind, giving something up, but it's something that wasn't working anyway. I stayed here to help her and my aunt. They both had heart attacks less than a year apart, and this property is haunted. Not in a good way, but it's a huge move for me, and I have had this job for years. Right. And it sounds to me like you've been taking care of them, and they don't even appreciate it. Right? The thing that you would want to move after people have had heart attacks, and you're saying that the house is haunted, you want to get out of there, I can understand that. I can understand that. You still have a life to live, you still have something going on, and you want to have a fresh new start. And if people are toxic, we don't owe them anything. I don't care if it's your mom, your dad, your great aunt, or whoever. If people are being toxic to us and treating us like shit, we don't need that. I just wanted some clarity because I haven't made great choices, I think mostly due to stress. Okay, so let's go over this then, Jennifer. They're both doing better. It's been 2 years. All right, so you can go off and do your thing. Okay, so you're wanting to make better choices. Okay, here's kind of my way of making informed choices. First off, have you given this a lot of thought, or is this something you're just doing on a whim? That's going to be the first question, right? You don't need to answer that. Just think about that. Have we thought about this yesterday and now we're going to follow through with it? Because due to stress, we can make very impulsive decisions. If it's not an impulsive decision, you've been thinking of this for a while, that to me could be a good choice, right? Anything that feels like it has to happen now, it has to happen quickly, we need to take a step back and we need to take a breath and be like, okay, I need to see what's really going on here. So we shouldn't do anything that feels impulsive is the first thing. But it sounds like you've made up your mind. And it sounds like you're ready to move on. So I don't feel like impulsivity is necessarily to blame here. I'm just giving you things to show you what would be a good choice, what wouldn't, okay? If we're ever feeling pressured, if we're ever feeling like we have to do this thing now, and it's like a relationship or it's moving or it's anything like that, then that might not be the best choice for us. It sounds like you're wanting to move in June. It sounds like you're ready to leave things behind that are no longer serving you. That's good. That's good. Again, it sounds like you have a plan. It sounds like you're working things through. So I think that's a good first step. But the other thing is that when you don't have these two people hanging over you or being responsible for them or whatever, when you don't have that, then there's a sense of self-exploration which can happen too, and you need to give yourself permission to look at who you've become. A lot of times when let's say we're taking care of somebody or we're around people that are toxic, right? Again, we lose sight of the self, and in those 2 years, You've probably grown in ways you haven't realized yet. And so if you can do something to help with self-exploration, to help with like looking at things in a different way, that's going to be good. That's going to be a very good thing for you. So I see it as being something positive here. I feel like it's going to be a good move. Again, just don't make any choices when there's a hurry up and do it kind of energy. That's generally time for us to sit down and really think about it. Sometimes there's investments, there's other like financial things that can come up to make it so that we have to hurry and choose something. I get that, but with relationships, events, or situations, it shouldn't be a hurry up and do it. Make a choice now, right? Yes, 2 years of working towards, there's been several bumps. I think that's what's got me nervous. Thank you. Yeah. And of course, the universe in a lot of ways, when you're making a decision to do something, it's going to keep asking you, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? And then eventually it's like, okay, you've made up your mind. You've made your decision. And odds are this, Jennifer, I'm just going to say it like this. You're not happy where you're at now. The worst thing that could happen is that you won't be happy where you're going to be going. And I feel like you will be. But I'm just saying the worst that could happen is you wouldn't be happy where you're going and you would find something else that would work for you in the future. So I feel like the alternative, staying there, being miserable, I feel like moving on is a much better sounding thing here. I just lost my best friend unexpectedly as well. My dad and everything has just been heavy, so thank you. I'm sorry to hear that too. I am very sorry to hear that. It sounds like a new start is needed for you to process and grieve and mourn in a proper way, because a lot of times when we're around, again, the toxic people, it's hard for us to let our emotions out. It's hard for us to cry or to release these kinds of emotions because other people could judge us when we're being vulnerable. So it would be a good place for you to possibly express these emotions, get this off your chest, and learn to grieve and move on to help things moving forward, right? Does that make sense, Jennifer? Because grieving is such a personal thing that the only people we should really let see us grieve are people that understand what we're going through. And a lot of times, really shitty people are watching us grieve, and they don't get it. If they're toxic, if they have these tendencies, they don't feel things like we do. They're not sensitive. They're not in touch with themselves. And so seeing someone that is in touch with themselves makes them very, very uncomfortable. Right? I'll let you know when it's your turn, VIP. So you don't have that, so I understand what you're saying. Okay, perfect. So that's just something that we can use moving forward to make things better. You're okay, VIP. You're okay. I'm just letting you know. It's your first time on the channel. I'm just letting you know kind of how we do things here. So, but you're just fine. Don't worry about it. You miss him every minute greatly. I can understand that. And again, I am so sorry for your loss, Jennifer. And I'm wishing you the best through this, but a new start is so, so needed. You're very welcome, Jennifer. And again, thank you for supporting the channel. I appreciate that so much. It's something that, again, lets me know I'm bringing value to people. So thank you for that. Okay, I'm going to do this here. Okay. It's got to stretch here. All right. Okay, so let's do this then. Let's go to, we have Tosfia, Natasha Gibson, or VIP. And I know VIP, I know you're here, but we have a couple people ahead of you, and I want to know if Tosfia or Natasha Gibson are here. If not, then I'll do your reading, VIP, but I need to see if they're here first. Oh yeah, stretchity stretch for sure, Chantel. Definitely got that stretch going on. Okay, VIP, are you here? Hopefully you're still here. Because if you want to, yes, there we go. You can ask your question now, my friend. Okay. All right. So VIP says, will we be together in real life in the future? Me and O, you're in... Okay. Let's look at that. Will you and O be together in real life in the future? Let's see what we can get for you. He is in Turkey and you are in North Africa. Okay. Okay. Little bit of distance there. Little bit of distance. Let's see what we can come up with for you, VIP. All right. Will you... But now we are in no contact. Okay. Okay. Let's see what we can find here. Will you... Okay. Will you be together in real life? You and O. Give me 1 second, Jennifer, and we can do that. We can in the future. Right. So yeah, give me let me do this one, Jennifer, and then feel free to ask that question. Oh, you're good. You're good, Jennifer. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You're a member of the channel now, so you get extra leeway regardless, but I'm not going to bite your head off over that, okay? Give me 1 sec here. Let me work with this person, and then I can answer your question, okay? Just give me one minute here, and we can definitely do that for you, but no need to apologize. No need to apologize at all. I have a lot of people that accidentally hit the send button. Okay. No worries, Jennifer. Thank you. All right. So, in the future, O and VIP. Let's look at this. Will they be together? All right. And I'm just going to do this just so that people are aware. Now what that means, Jennifer, I'm still going to answer your question. I'm just posting that for anyone coming in here while I'm talking with you. All right. VIP, let's see what we got for you. So, will you guys be together in real life in the future? Okay. So, I see this card here. I'm going to say this, VIP, because we get the Devil card right here. The devil isn't what we think it is, right? It's not the Christian entity of the devil, you know, this evil being. But the devil can talk about obstacles. It can talk about addictions or extreme ways of being or thinking. I'm going to say right now, focus on you. You're in no contact with this person as it is. Focus on you and allowing yourself to do whatever it is that you need to do right now. If this connection is meant to be, this person will come back in your life. Right now, though, yeah, I'm feeling it's a no, VIP, if I'm looking at this, right? Like I said, I'm just going to rip the Band-Aid off right now. I'm feeling it's a no. So I would say move on to something else and don't far future. I'm going to say near future, far future, right? I don't advise a person to wait for anyone. I'm going to say right now, move on. And if it's a connection that's meant to be, it will be. If it's not meant to be, it won't. Okay? Certain things are for us, certain things are not. Sometimes we get to decide those things in a way. A lot of times we don't. And yeah. So that's just kind of what I'm seeing there. So let things happen organically and let's see where that goes from there. But that's kind of what I'm feeling for you. Okay. So, Jennifer, what is your question? Or rather, something you need advice for. Let me put it that way. Oh. Shit. Trixie. Hey there, girl. We got ourselves a Trixie. It's not friendly. That's okay. Whatever your question is, Jennifer, I think I can handle it. Let's hear what the question is. Boop, boop, boop. You got a soft belly. Oh, you posted it already? Let me see. You said, okay, you said, can I ask advice, things just because you deal with energies? It has to do with spirits passed on. Yeah, can you retype it for me, Jennifer? I'm sorry about that. If you could retype it for me, that would be mucho good. I don't know. Jeez, you're purring. You're a purring baby, aren't you? Hey, if you get on my lap, you get pets. That's how it goes. You know what you did. This is what she looks like, just so you can see her. Oh, gotta get rid of that one too. Hey there, Jason. No. I don't know how to do it here. There we go. Can't really see her though. She's a calico. Kitty, kitty, kitty. No. Let's get rid of both of those. Let's get rid of that one. I have bought crystals, read books, asked it to leave. You've saged. Even your kids have seen this figure. Okay. Hey there, Queen 9. How's it going? How much, You don't want it to come with you, it's not friendly. Okay, so you're wondering about advice. About how to possibly either banish something or keep it from linking with you as you move on. Am I correct in thinking that? Because if so, here's what we can do. Oh, Jennifer. I had one time, I work with energies, I do mediumship. I had one time, this was last year, right? I was sleeping, I woke up, and when I woke up, heavy in our heads, okay. When I woke up, I swore to God I was a 17-year-old girl, someone who had passed. And so that to me was one of the most weird experiences I've had. But when you do mediumship, spirits can present themselves in so many different ways. The way it presents itself to you could be different to the way it presents itself to me, but they can move in a fluid-like way. So I'm not going to think you're nuts. I work on the fringe of people thinking I'm nuts every now and again. So I get it. I get it. And I'm not going to think you're crazy. But give me 1 second here. Sorry, Red Rose. Questions are closed today. Let's see. Wonder if I even have it up here. Oh, I do. Perfect. Okay. No, Queen. If you want to do a paid question, we can do that. Very tall, dark figure, long arms, black. Is it wearing a hat? Thank you, Queen. Oh, I was done with readings anyway, Ivory. I'm done with the free ones, so next time. So Jennifer, the hat figure, the long arms, the way this thing presents itself, it's known